This is the Sales Babble Podcast, episode 502, How to Give Control to Take Control When Selling.
Welcome to Sales Babble, the podcast that shares selling secrets for non-sellers. And now your host, Pat Helmers.
Hey there, Sales Babblers. This is Pat Helmers, and this is the podcast that embraces the effortless action and Taoist style of non-pushy sales. Now, the other day I was talking to my wife, Denise, and she says that I worry too much. That's funny because I think I don't worry enough. I'm always on the lookout for trouble and trying to control what I can to avoid drama. See, this is the thing. Control is my secret power, but it's also my greatest weakness. When I brought a control attitude into the sales profession, it was a turnoff to many of my prospects. By trying to control the sales process and wrangling the prospect's actions, it had the opposite effect, and it killed deals. It was by studying the Tao that I got this idea, by taking control of the sale, by giving control to the prospects. Brilliant, right? It works amazingly well, but it was a bit late. Well, that's today's topic, how to give control to take control when selling. But before we start, make sure and subscribe to the podcast, and also follow us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and myself on LinkedIn. You can find links in the show notes. And now today's chapter, controlling the sale. Crooked with words, the sale goes sideways. Rushing the close, the deal comes to a halt. Showing off and preening shows little. Asserting with vanity chases business away. Rules about handling, managing, and fooling the buyer never acknowledge what truly rules. By not controlling the sale is controlled. Give each buyer space, knowing each deal has its own course. Take their lead, and you'll get there. And now today's story. Chris was a self-admitted control freak, trying to control every aspect of every buyer as well as the entire sales funnel. Commendable, yes, but exhausting and surprisingly not as successful as expected. Despite worry and taking preemptive action, the deals never progressed as planned. Buyers would change direction at a moment's notice. They would make requests from out of the blue, and nothing Chris could do would prepare for the unforeseen. During a one-on-one, Pat walked through the pipeline with Chris. In frustration, Chris opened up and shared how chaotic the deals felt and how difficult it was to control the sale. "What should I do?" Chris asked. Pat laughed, knowing from personal experience that the tighter you squeeze a slippery fish, the faster it slips out and back into the water. Pat responded, "Expect change. It's the one constant in the world, Chris. Customers are never going to go the path we expect. What we should expect is the unexpected. They don't all act alike. They don't all have the same pains and aspirations. The best way to control a sale is to not control it. Let each deal take its own course. Let the buyers reveal their wants and needs at their own pace and address them one by one as they come." Like Lao Tzu, the Greek philosopher Heraclitus is famous for his love of paradox and wordplay. He too believed in the unity of opposites and harmony. He saw the world in a state of flux that was always becoming, but never being. He is famously quoted as saying, "No man ever steps in the same river twice." Well, the same is true of prospects. No two prospects are alike. Each prospect knows what they want, and at the same time, they may revise their needs at a moment's notice. Master sellers expect this. They accept fluctuations like the seashore expects tides. They are happy to help in whatever capacity they can. They trust it will all work out. Now, if you found value in this week's chapter, if you'd like to dig into it and read it yourself and muse upon it, you can find a copy of this Tao of Sales Babble chapter in the show notes at www.salesbabble.com. And while you're at the website, you can sign up for our brief weekly newsletter with links to the podcast sent conveniently to your inbox. Next, if you could do me a favor and share this episode with someone, a friend, or somebody maybe you work with who's looking to grow their selling skills or maybe get into sales, please do, because, see, this is the thing. Word of mouth is the best way of growing our sales community. If you could do this, I'd really appreciate it. Next, if you have any questions about sales, and many people have been reaching out to me, and it's been really great to talk about this. It's one of my favorite topics. You can easily connect with me by clicking the Babble Me button on the website, or you can go to LinkedIn. I'm the only Pat Helmers on there, I believe. Used to be somebody from Germany. I don't know if they're still there, but anyway, I'm easy to find. Reach out and connect. I'd love to chat. That's all I have for this week, folks. Until next Tuesday, take care and have a highly successful and a profitable selling day.
Thank you for listening to the Sales Babble podcast. Find us at www.salesbabble.com.
This is a production of Habanero Media.